Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Do you like the Thanksgiving night game and the whole vibe around it?
I mean, I don't know necessarily. When you say vibe around it, I don't know that they've only had one other one at home. And I guess it's hard for me to capture the true atmosphere in the dome because I know I'm usually like tired and full.
Right.
I don't know if all the fans are too, but I actually worry about it. Just in general, how I worry about the home crowd right now. The games, the home games, the team in general right now is the fans are conflicted right now. So if it's a dud of a game, does that lead to a dud of a crowd? If it's an exciting game, does the night crowd come to life? They could sure use that.
They could certainly use the energy. Maybe they'll get a jolt courtesy of Drew Brees, who's going to be honored. What are you expecting tomorrow night? Or do you know what the Saints are planning tomorrow night for Drew Brees?
Well, I don't know all the exact details. I know they're going to be sharing video messages that they've been collecting and show highlights and stuff like that. He'll come out and be introduced at halftime. But those not at the game are going to get more Drew than those at the game because we're going to, I'm going to record this one and be interested to come home and watch it and hear his analysis of the team throughout the game. That's
very true. He'll be on play-by-play with Mike Tirico in the booth for Sunday Night Football on Thursday night with the Saints and the Bills. The big question, Mike, though, is what do we get offensively from the Saints team? We've kind of bandied about this week. Is Taysom Hill available? Might he play at quarterback in this ball game? What can you share with us?
I mean, I don't expect him to make that switch on this short week. He has been practicing fully this week. Whatever practicing fully actually means, they're not really, fully practicing as a team. They haven't put on pads. They're walking through things. So the fact that last week he was not able to practice until just a little bit on Friday, and then this week they have these two sort of walkthrough style practices does not lend itself to be all right, now's the time to change our offense and build it around Taysom Hill. So I would be surprised to see that. But look, whether he ever becomes the starter again this season or not, he needs to be a vital part of this offense. And they need to start using him a lot more as soon as he's healthy enough to be used a lot more.
Do you suspect he will be used a lot more Thanksgiving night?
Yeah, I think he has to be, especially since Alvin Kamara's been ruled out again. Mark Ingram might not play or might be limited. This no offense that Taysom Hill has ever been a part of needed more of a Taysom Hill jolt than this one.
All right. Mike, I look at the offense. I think we'll flip it over. We'll talk about the defense here in a second. But I look at the offense, and I kind of wonder, like, more so than ever, where is the production going to come from? I mean, we look at this matchup for me with the Bills defense and what the Saints do have, and help me make sense out of where the Saints might be able to generate something offensively.
Well, first they have to tell Trevor Siemian and the receivers that it's the fourth quarter at the beginning of the game. They should change. Since they're at home, maybe they can actually manipulate the scoreboard and just trick them into thinking that, all right, you're down 18 and the fourth quarter's just started, now go. Because I'm joking, but in the fourth quarter of every game, we've seen that they can generate some offense. Now, obviously, the defenses are playing a little more relaxed, prevent, whatever you want to call it, but not to a dramatic extent. I mean, it's just taken them a while to get going. But, we've seen Marquez Callaway and Tre'Quan Smith and Adam Troutman before he got hurt play some of their best football of the season in recent weeks. And we've seen Trevor Siemian struggle early and then make some really good throws late. So, I don't think they're going to go out there and settle for, 12 points, which would be the 2 touchdowns and the 2 missed extra points. But, it's a struggle. It's a struggle every time they've got the ball. And you always, when they do score, you're kind of like surprised it happened.
Mike, is there a possibility maybe they go tempo and just sort of let it rip a little more? Because doesn't it stand to reason that the way Sean Payton has been approaching it has been run the football, play defense, basically what worked at the end of the New England game. That's kind of the way they've approached it. Maybe they do go a little more tempo and kind of let it rip to see if they can generate some offense, because you have to do something differently, right?
You do have to do something different. And look, I mean, for better and for worse, you're right. That has been the Saints' strategy to win the game. And it worked against Green Bay. It worked against New England. And it's control the ball, don't make mistakes, win the battle of field position, win the turnover battle, win the time of possession battle, outlast them, win at the line of scrimmages, all that boring stuff that can be effective, but doesn't generate a ton of excitement. But yes, if it leads to you being down 2 scores early in a game, then that's not the effective plan.
Yeah. Mike Triplett's with us. He's on Twitter at MikeTriplettESPN.com. By the way, if Armstead and Ramczyk are both out and now Landon Young's out, what do they do at one of the tackle spots opposite James Hurst?
Well, I think the answer would be Jordan Mills, but I do expect Teron Armstead to play.
Okay.
He was practicing and participating this week, and we thought he was close to coming back in the first place. So, but yeah, I mean, if he suffers some sort of a setback, that would be the next guy, I think, is Jordan Mills. But yeah, it's not an enticing thing to think about. I mean, it's like, by the way, the 2 All-Pro tackles have been missing time too. We talk about Alvin Kamara all the time, and obviously Winston and Michael Thomas. But I mean, those are 2 of the 5 best players on the team. They've been missing too. It really is just stunning the amount of injuries and the specific players who have been injured.
I've kind of compared it, Mike, to what the 49ers went through a year ago. Where it was Jimmy G, and it was Mostert, and it was Bosa, and it was Solomon Thomas. It was the whole team. I mean, all of their best players got hurt. That's what the Saints are kind of living through right now. Let's flip it over defensively, because they do have a way to win this game, Mike. It's going to be, look, you got to play great defense and maybe do what Jacksonville did to limit this Buffalo offense. Is that possible? I mean, is it possible the Saints could put the handcuffs on this Buffalo offense, which at times has been really good and at times has been stuck in the mud?
Of course. I mean, Buffalo is not coming in here as a world beater right now. Their trajectory is much like the Saints. If you're looking at them independently, they look like a team that is kind of searching for answers right now. They lost 9-6 to Jacksonville. You wonder how the Saints could beat Buffalo. The Jaguars just beat them 9-6 a couple weeks ago. And look, the Saints were mostly the same team that they are right now when they went into Tennessee and came really close to winning that game in the low 20s. So of course it's possible. But yeah, Buffalo has, Buffalo feels a little bit more like a sleeping giant that, it's one of those things. I don't know if this truly exists or not, but if you're pulling for the Saints, you're probably watching Buffalo just lay a total egg against Indianapolis and saying, darn it, I wanted them to lay the egg on Thursday night, not Sunday.
Well, that's 2 of the last 3 weeks. That's a little, like you pointed out, Mike. That's a little bit of a trend with how they're playing. You get 2 pretty desperate teams right now going into this game. Yeah. Is Brett Maher going to kick?
Yeah, he's their kicker. He's the only one on this team. It's amazing. I did some quick math when Maher got called up last year. I just very famously remember writing it over and over again. Will Lutz was their 11th kicker in 11 years. And then finally they had ended that. I had stopped writing about that. But now that they've used 5 this season, they're up to 16 and 17 years again, I think.
Sean Payton and him kickers.
Or wait, he's one of the 5, so maybe it's 15 and 16 years. But it is stunning. I mean, we are right back to where we were before Will Lutz arrived.
Do you put any stock into why the Saints have been so successful in these primetime games? Mike, I mentioned they're 4-0 on Thursday night games in the Dome under Sean Payton. They're 12-0 on or around holidays under Sean Payton. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's something there. I mean, that's not just happenstance. What is it?
There is something there, maybe. I mean, definitely the primetime thing, but Sean Payton's answer to this question would be, well, we're also just a good team, the team that they had the best road record over the last 4 years, or they did up until a certain point. They might still have it. I haven't looked it up in a while. But he's like, you show me a team that has the best road record, they probably have one of the best records. You show me a team that has the best primetime record, they probably have one of the best records. And it's true. The Saints have won the most games in the NFL over the last 5 years. So, but it is crazy. It's like 2-0, 3-0 on Thanksgiving, 2-0 on Halloween, 1-0 on Christmas. And certainly when they had those primetime games in the Dome back in the days when they'd score 40 plus, that place was absolutely electric. Unfortunately, a couple times in recent years, we've realized that the Dome is not a magic elixir. They feed off each other. If the Saints come in and they're going to bring a dud into the Dome, just the time on the clock doesn't automatically clear that.
He is Mike Triplett. Bills Saints Thanksgiving night, 7 o'clock Central. It's Thursday night football or Sunday night football on Thursday. Mike will be there in that number. What's on the menu for the Triplett household prior to kickoff?
Well, I'm going to sneak over to the in-laws in Houma for lunch before I go to the game. Okay. And actually, my wife's alma mater, Vanderbilt, my nephew, a star defensive tackle, we will be in Baton Rouge on Friday night.
Okay.
So we've got a full weekend planned. I'm not overly optimistic about Vanderbilt's chances against ULab on Friday night. But
okay.
We're looking forward to our trip to Baton Rouge to celebrate the season they've had so far.
When you said Vanderbilt, I thought you meant Vanderbilt, like the Commodores University.
Yeah,
but you meant
Vanderbilt,
nice Catholic. Vanderbilt Catholic.
Vanderbilt.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wish them luck. Wish all the high school athletes, all the high school football players luck in the postseason, their playoff games. Mike, enjoy Thanksgiving. We always appreciate you for being generous with your time, man, especially here the day before a holiday. So thank you so much, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.